In all things, I think there's an awful lot of power in collaboration, and that certainly is true when it comes to the business world. If you are a service provider, that need to collaborate perhaps is even greater because there's power in numbers. That certainly is the case with our next guests who are inviting you this morning to an open house. We are so happy to welcome Stephanie Cooper, who has a business called MedCred, and Rebecca Iwanczyk, who is with the Speech Language Hearing Center. So good to have you both. And you were 2 of 4, right, in the power in numbers, who were here with me this morning. Do I have that right, Rebecca?
Yes. The Speech Language Reading Center, yes, there's 4 of us.
Speech Language Reading Center. I made it Hearing Center, and my apologies for that. So I think this is very interesting because Speech Language Reading Center, a lot of people are going to be familiar with you. You've been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, you're going to say
Since
something.
2006. As
a resource for parents whose children are struggling with school academically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what you find, I guess, is like in all things, your focus often overlaps other issues going on with the child. So you began to house in your building, is it an occupational therapist who is there?
So next door, there's an occupational therapist and a physical therapist.
Okay, and then in comes the glue for it all in the form of Stephanie Cooper, and your role is you have a business called MedCred. What is it that you do, Stephanie?
So I work with providers in the area to provide billing and credentialing services. So we're having this open house and we all work together. We're so excited to be able to offer multiple services under one roof. So not only do we have speech therapy, we've also got occupational, physical therapy, and billing and credentialing, which can be a complicated process at times for new providers. So we specialize in helping physicians, therapists start a private practice. We do all of the contracting and the credentialing, all of the legwork for the providers so that they can focus specifically on caring for the kids.
And that, I don't know, we have not rehearsed this, so I might be asking you a question that is just out in left field. But very often now you go to a provider, especially in this area of field, and they don't maybe take insurance or they don't know how to get it filed, which has got to, as a provider, hurt your heart because you want to help the family. Is that right?
Absolutely. Insurance can be complicated. A lot of families don't really understand what type of benefits they have with their plans. And so our business works with those families so that they know ahead of time, you know, their out-of-pocket expense. Also working very closely with the therapist and the other providers to make sure that all of those services are being billed correctly. We have correct coding. So just a wide range of billing, credentialing, contracting.
I'll throw you out there, Rebecca, but I have a memory, a very distinct memory of being in your waiting room. One of my children had come to you and I was the person just paying for each visit. And then I came one day and the woman there at the desk said, oh, your insurance has now kicked in. And so, you know, you're either getting this money back or I didn't have to pay anymore. I can't quite remember. But I sat there and I sent my boss an email to say, thank you so much for our insurance. So this has got to be great for you to see too.
Definitely. Stephanie's been wonderful to help guide us through the process.
Okay, so let's talk about the open house. It's one thing to hear us talk about it, but you're wanting people to come and see for themselves how this works.
Yes, we would love to just let the community know that we're here and that we're ready to serve. And so we're going to open our doors from 6 to 8 p.m. and we're going to welcome especially anyone who works with children. But families, if they're interested in seeing our space, they're welcome to come too. And we're just going to be able to meet and greet. We'll have some little gift bags and some snacks and drinks and things. And so anyone who'd like to attend can explore kind of what our area looks like. We are in 2 different offices side by side. And so we can just show a little bit of what we do. Because
like all of us, you're just doing your job every day and you only have so much time to get out and about. So for the providers in the area, they can't know who to refer people to if they don't know you're here.
Right, so we just want to let people know, yes, and make sure that, you know, people are aware that we are there, right there in Hickson. We're right off of Highway 153 by the Target Plaza.
I will ask you this quickly because I only have about a minute left, not quite. In terms of coming to you, for you specifically, do you have to have a doctor's referral, or if there's a family watching and they think I'll just call and make an appointment?
Yes, typically yes, we do need a doctor's referral.
Okay.
But call, we are happy to answer any questions you might have because it does depend on your insurance. And that's where Stephanie is very helpful with that process.
It's, you know what, it's one of those things where you stop and think about it and you wonder, why didn't I think of this years ago? It's a brilliant partnership. So thank you. So the event is September 29th. From 6 until 8. If you are a provider, it will be a wonderful time for you to come and see what your patients can benefit from. But if you are a family, everything they do there is pediatric focused, right?
Yes,
At all
that's
of the
correct.
practices. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.